Hi, how you doing today? Okay, I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to have a quick discussion real quick about what was what I have said a long time ago and is now actually coming to fruition. Alright, long time ago when the pandemic first started, I was over at the post office. I needed to pick up a package that they actually had. Anyways, what happened was me and a couple people that we were all masked up and we were all forced to actually have all the masks and all that other crap. Um, it's just like it made no sense. But I was sitting there and I was talking. I was just like, yeah, this is just ridiculous. And there was a guy that was screaming across the room because me and these people, I told them, I'm like, well, China actually manufactured this virus from SARS, and they made it to where it wasn't going to be noticeable for a good amount of time, to actually stop anybody from having any kind of notification that they actually were getting sick. That way that they could actually stop any kind of uprising or anything like that. So the CCP basically unleashed this as soon as Hong Kong decided that they wanted to actually side with us and say, we want democracy back, we want democracy back, we want democracy back, we want democracy back. And this went on for weeks. Finally, people started getting sick. And where I was actually getting at the beginning was this guy across the way sat there and said, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm a surgeon and I basically am on the front lines of what's going on. I'm like, uh-huh. Because I had actually talked to Xi. And honestly, the Mother Effer is in the astral realm. He is a very, very dark person. He doesn't give a shit about anything, and the only thing that actually matters to him is to stay in power. He is basically the next thing to Adolf Hitler. Okay, and I want you to understand that. And at this point in time, I've said it for months. I said, China's already lost. They're just too stupid to know it. China's lost. They're just too stupid to know it. Oh, we're now the number one superpower. Russia's backing off from them. They're actually supposedly stopping all shipments for their oil supplies to China. And the second largest housing development, or you can say condo development, corporation that they actually own, which is owned by the CCP, is going into complete and absolute destruction. Because one of the things is they're not actually paying their bills. And this is a multi-billion-dollar company, and they can't pay their bills to the CCP? How dare they? You know what I'm talking about? So, I mean, I'm sitting here, I'm actually telling you exactly what's going on, and I'm getting people, no, 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 that can't be true. Yes, it is true. I'm sorry, I hate to actually tell you this. I've actually met the motherfucker, and not personally, but in the astral realm. And, oh, we don't believe in any of that stuff. That's just a whole bunch of wish-wash that women actually are the only ones that that really focus on that kind of shit. So, you're just turning into a girl. Yeah, whatever you say. Whatever you want to try to actually force upon me. I hate to actually tell you this, but I was right. You don't want to listen. Like I said, I met my doppelganger. I've met death. And he isn't no skull and, bones. In all honesty, he's completely different than what our perspective of death is. And that's the one thing that I actually was like, wow, that's interesting. Because he was actually, yes, he was darker than Spirit, and he was darker than Father, but he looked just like a regular man. And I said, "How are you? Who are you?" He said, "I am eternal. I am death." And right then I was just like, "Oh, so am I gonna die?" "No, we have a different plan for you." Then he just vanished. And I was just like, "Oh." The next night, I actually had a dream about my doppelganger. Now, a lot of people actually think that a doppelganger is false. No, you can see something that looks just like you. But if you actually see it when you're in your physical realm, that's when you have to worry. He didn't say anything to me. He just waved his hand. He was just like, "Hey." And I was just like, "What's up?" It was just weird because I was actually staring at myself in the spiritual realm. Like like you're staring at me right now. Anyways, and one of the positive things that goes along with all this is I've actually started understanding, and I watch. His name is Taylor the Fiend, and he's talking about crystals, all this crap is just for women, and it's just pussy shit. No, it's not. Actually, there's a lot of different crystals that have energy, that have created energy by actually being made within the earth. There's crystals that I have that are growing, and it's really actually strange. It's like I have a citrine one that it gets most of the light from the sun, and it's actually starting to direct itself at the sun, from the window that I have. And I would show it to you, but I'm not going to edit this because, it is what it is. I've told you many times, many different ways. You refuse to listen. That's okay. Like I said, if I was sitting in your shoes, I would be looking at him like he's a sicko. He's a crazy motherfucker that just drank. And in all honesty, I've been in the White Room many, 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 many times. And I'm not talking about a padded room or any kind of insanity. I've been able to actually withhold all that insanity because, first and foremost, I believe in God. I believe in the Heavenly Father. We've lost all that. And I mean, I like listening to George Carlin, and he was talking about God, and I brush a lot of that off because he's a comedian. He's just, I have skin when it comes to that, and we're running into this world where right now nobody has any kind of skin. Everybody's sitting here saying, "Oh well, Muhammad's the best. Oh well, Jesus is the best. Oh, well, Buddha, Vishnu, we all must follow these deities." There's only one God, and he actually makes the decisions. And this is where, really, China fucked up. And I'm serious. This is where China fucked up and fucked themselves royally. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. And now we're going to be getting into a little bit of problems until we actually get dipshit out of office. But it's not going to be nearly as bad as China is. Because, I've been watching a lot of, I wouldn't say Chinese TV. It's not just propaganda. This guy was actually living there for a while, and he moved here. And so the one thing that I've been actually taking from him is the buildings that they've actually built are falling apart, and they're not even that you don't even actually have fire hydrants. He said it was like 1 in 4 or 1 in something or other. I know this sounds vague. Well, he was saying that there was like 1 in 4 fire hydrants that were actually real. And if a building burned down, and if it was near a fake fire hydrant, they wouldn't care. They would just actually rebuild. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Right now, China is actually in a world of hurt. And right now, Biden actually would do the best to actually sit here and say, oh, we owe you a hell of a lot of money. Fuck off. That's basically it. Because right now, China is actually... The only reason why China is surviving is because of us. I mean, yeah, they do have contracts with other countries and all this other stuff, but that's not going to keep their GDP at a level, at a sustainable level that is going to actually keep them through the next millennia. So keep that in mind. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.